Hey, what's going on? This is Jsean, and today I wanted to talk about never settling. Hey, what's going on, guys? So, sorry if my energy is a little low today. I just been super tired, feeling kind of under the weather or lethargic. I don't know what's going on, but in the midst of all that, I wanted to talk about just some experiences that's been going on randomly, and it all has to do with what I combine in my mind is basically, to sum it up, never settle, right? Whether you've been in like a store or any type of workplace and you see an employee looking like they don't want to help or they don't want to be there, it's because they don't want to be there, right? And I've talked something similar about this before, about people being unhappy and stuff like that. So this is probably a little repeat, but I don't know why in my mind it's a little different of a situation or scenario. Don't settle in your situations. Don't live with regrets. And I think that's what I think I made a video called like no regrets. So to dive deeper into it. Some people will complain about a certain circumstance and keep complaining, but never do anything to do something about it, right? If I am vocal about it, it's just because I'm venting. Like, that doesn't mean I'm complaining. It's almost like if you hurt yourself, that's stupid to say that you wouldn't vocalize your pain and say ouch, right? So you're not really complaining, you're just vocalizing your emotions and how you feel. You're not expecting somebody to feel sorry for you, you're not expecting somebody to say anything, you're just expressing yourself. So basically, that's what I do at times, you know? And ultimately, we all have the power to do something. I'm not saying it's going to fix it, but that's something that you know is the initial thing that you should do, need to do, is just the first step in reversing whatever wrong that you found yourself in. And sometimes that wrong, unfortunately, isn't our fault. Sometimes it's out of our hands. All we have to do is just put our best foot forward and let nature, let God, whatever you may believe in, do the rest. I personally believe in God, so that's my standpoint on it. Personally, you don't have to feel exactly the same way. So with that being said, it's like, to be miserable in a lot of ways is a choice. There's times in my life where I personally felt so like lost and confused and didn't understand certain circumstances and scenarios, but when I really broke it down and took blame away and just looked at myself, I really feel like a lot of it I put myself in. There's a whole bunch of little choices that I made that I was like, you know what, I didn't have to do that, you know? Like, have you ever met somebody who worked at a job and they're like, man, they don't like me and this place sucks, and complains or don't take it 100% seriously, right? Just despite how much they pay or don't pay or whatever. And then maybe they get let go from the job, but then come to find out you're getting let go because you were late too many times, when the rules clearly state you can't be tardy X amount of times, but then you get let go. And then you say to yourself, they never really like me. But you see stuff like that, you could feel that way, and maybe it's true, right? Maybe that circumstances, they really don't like you and they really do want to get rid of you. Well, don't do things that they can use against you. Basically, don't be tardy. Don't take it like you're not taking it seriously. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, don't give them reason to solidify those decisions if you feel like they're not true. And if you get let go while you're doing your like the best you actually truly can, don't even sweat it, because you didn't need to be there anyway. You fulfilled your purpose at that place and you need to move forward, right? So some people, and I'm going to bounce all over the place a little bit because that's just what I do, but sometimes people are okay with those type of career moves, and that's exactly how they look at it. Just a means to an end. It's a way to get money, right? So if you're somebody like myself, the best way I can fit this into an example is, have you ever seen like a series like on Netflix or any type of TV show, right? And now they have so many TV shows that you'll know when the ending is for that series. You'll know it's a short series. Like, they have some of the shortest 5 series, right? Now, the way that I'm personally able to deal with that is because I know in advance that it's only a 5 series show. So I already have a end date on that circumstance or that thing that I'm watching, right? So it makes it easier for me to accept it when it's over, right? Versus when you have a never ending series. See, on Netflix, they tell you like, right when, even if they don't let you watch all the episodes, if they have season 1, they'll show like X amount of series within that season. But on normal TV, the way it used to be is it would just come up and you don't know what the next episode is going to be about until the next week or the next month it comes out. You don't know the details. You don't know how many series they had planned to put in that season. So it's like a question mark. And every show is designed to make you want more. It's designed to make you feel like it could have been a closure. And then something happens right at the end where you're like, oh, I have to find out what's going to happen next, right? That feeling of curiosity, that feeling of wanting more in that natural way is how I feel like the universe speaks to me. That's how I feel like I'm drawn into wanting more in my life. My life is like a TV show. So if I take a job for a specific purpose and I'm like, I need to catch up on bills and I hate the job, right? Well, I look at it like a short series. I don't let it disappoint me because I know the length and the goal, the purpose, the time frame of it, just like the short series show. There's an end date to it. So it's almost like I have a countdown in my head, not counting up. I count down till that time frame comes and I move it out of my life and I move on to the next one, the next goal. It's just like what I said before in the ladders of success, the ladder goals. It's just one step of a micro goal to accomplish a real goal, a big goal, something bigger. You know what I mean? So my life in general, aside from those little goals and those little steps, as far as what I mean, as far as, how I compare it to like a small series, is that I'm naturally a motivated person through action, meaning the more series you watch, even though you think there's closure right at the end, something happens and it makes you like, okay, this could be a whole new twist to the series. Makes you want to tune in more and think differently about the characters, whatever that twist. That's how I feel like my life is in general, as far as when I approach an idea or something that naturally came to me. Sometimes by the end of that idea is almost like the end of that show for that particular night. Something happens and clicks in my head and it's like, oh, wait, I'm not done. I thought I was done with this in my life. I thought I was done with this particular idea or situation, but no, there's something more to this. There's something that can bleed off of this. You know what I mean? And I also kind of look at it like when you have spin-off shows, it just can keep, depending how the series is developed and made to end. Some shows have gone on for multiple seasons over multiple years. You know what I mean? So relate that to your life and planting seeds in your life. And it's just a big reward. It's a big reaping and sowing in that situation. And a lot of times that's how I feel naturally. I just feel like it's something that just keeps going. That's why I can't settle. That's why I couldn't settle at a regular standard 9 to 5. It doesn't matter if it's office, labor, whatever the case is. It's just, it doesn't settle with me because I see the end before I even begin. And when I go past the ending date, when I know it's past its expiration for me, it really irks my nerves and it bothers me. Like, why am I still here? It's almost like watching a show and being forced when you knew the first 3 episodes were super good, but they extended it for 5 more seasons for some strange reason when it could have ended a long time ago. It's like, why are we still watching this show? You know what I mean? That's how I look at that. And I'm not trying to confuse you, but that's kind of how I look at it. So when I take on these certain tasks or goals, it just breeds new ideas and new like angles that I look at things, and some stuff that I do today I've never thought I would be doing years ago. The only difference is that for me personally, I'm just not fulfilled and satisfied because it hasn't come full circle for me personally in a way that I feel like this is it. You know what I'm saying? Even if it was good or not good, things that happened, it was just this. I'm just waiting for it all to tie together where I'm just like, this is right. Like, this feels like it's right. This feels like this part of my series or my show has ended, and now I can look forward to the new series to begin, a new show, you know what I'm saying, a new part of my life, so to speak. And I haven't closed off this series, and it's kind of getting to the point where I'm like, man, this series is dragging out, meaning my life in certain, like a direction that I'm aiming towards is dragging out so long that I'm like, okay, it's gonna end, it has to end now. Like, this is getting redundant and kind of ridiculous. But then something happens where I'm like, okay, this is a new angle now, and it just keeps going, you know. So I'm trying to make adjustments in my life to put a closure to this part of my journey, to this part of the series or show. And I suggest that, you know, maybe you guys could apply that, maybe, hopefully, to any of your circumstances. If you're not satisfied, just do something about it. Do anything about it. Just do something forward about it. And if you're like me in the way I describe myself, then that means you definitely shouldn't settle. If you have a personality like mine and a natural mindset like mine, to want to keep growing and being curious and learning, and I think that's the worst feeling than anything is to feel regret in that sense, and to feel like you've settled, to feel like there's so much more potential for yourself than what you see and what you feel, you know. And never compare yourself to other people, never compare yourself to, the only way I would do that is to humble myself, or I do it in a way where I look at other people in similar circumstances, and if they've excelled beyond where I have, I wonder what I did wrong or something like that. But I never try to compare myself to feel jealous or to feel that way, because if I do, I kind of separate myself, and I don't associate myself with those thoughts on purpose, because it's only going to bring negativity. That stuff don't motivate me. If it motivates you, then, you know, maybe that's what you should do. But for me personally, that's just not the way for me. I'm noticing my time. I'm going to just cut this off. I don't know if I really got to my point exactly, but some of this is a little repeated from, or repetitive from a previous video, sort of. It's just something that was kind of on my mind. So I'm going to close this video from, just cut it out right here. But basically, I'm going to close it out by saying, make sure you do everything at top level, at your top level. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I guess until the next time I see you on here, and I guess that's it. And and soon when I get back in the rhythm of things, and as I said, my attitude feels real low right now for some reason. I'm just tired. But I'm gonna start probably doing a little bit more things on the channel aside from the Jsean Speaks portion. I really want to get into some kind of podcasting somehow. I don't know if I would do it through here, or I would do it through an actual podcast. I'm not really sure, but because I want to interact with people, to be honest. Beyond comments, it's easier, like, you know, to have a hotline and talk and whatever. It's just interactive. It's like more human to me, you know. So anyway, if that sounds interesting, let me know. I'm trying to look into it. I don't care if it's one person, half a person, 2 people, 3 people, whatever. As long as it's more than just myself talking to myself, I'm good with that. It's just a beginning, a starting stepping stone. And I'm gonna stop talking now. So until next time, later. Peace. Boom.